Hello, we are going to be looking at a lesson in mean, median, mode today within our data unit. All right, let's get started. So these are some infographics that should help us to remember what each of these different things mean. So you see for mean here, mean is the average. It's the average of a set of numbers, a set of data. So average. And we arrive at a mean by adding all of the numbers together and then dividing by the number of numbers we added together. So obviously here we have a representation of 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So we would divide by 4, and that gives us the average of all those numbers. Mode is the number that appears most often in your data. So if I had a set of data, my mode would be 2 because 2 appears most often in the data. Now, we can have a couple of other things happen with mode. We can have a situation where we have no mode because every piece of data only appears once, each number only appears once, and that's said to be no mode. And then we can also have this occur. We can have more than one mode. So in this case, the modes, more than one, would be 3 and 9. So that's how mode works. We have no mode, we can have more than one mode, or exactly one mode. Next we have median, and this infographic shows these arrows pointing to the middle of that word, and that's exactly what median is. It's the middle of our data. So with mode, we would have to have our data in number order. So least to greatest. And once it's in number order, we would just count in from the two sides until we get to the middle. So that's 1, 2. This one's easy to see, 1, 2. And this is our median here. That's the middle of our data. And something that can happen with median is that sometimes you have an even number of data. So maybe something like this. So now we're not going to have a middle number because we have an even number of data here. So in that case, we do something a little different. We still find the middle, 1, 2, 1, 2, one more. So we identify the middle, which is between these two numbers. And then what we do is we determine our median by finding the mean or average of these two numbers. Now this is easy. We know that a 3 is exactly in the middle of a 2 and a 4. So our median in that case is a 3. It's not even part of our data set, but that would indicate the middle of our data set. So again, to find that, you're adding the two numbers together that are in the middle and then dividing by the number of numbers you added. So in this case, it would have been 6 over 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's what median is. And we will practice with all of these. And then the last thing that we're looking at right now is the range of the data. So you see in the infographic that I have a point here going all the way to this point here. And that's what range is. When the data is in order, you are seeing how far it is from the lowest number in the data to the highest number in the data. So it's the lowest to highest, and then we just find the difference between them. So the difference between an 18 and a 3, of course, is 15. So the range of this data set would be 15. You just take that highest number, subtract the lowest number, and I know there's 15 spaces between a 3 and an 18. Okay, so now we can start looking a little deeper into this. So, mean is a numerical average of a set of data. It is considered the fair share measure of data. Sometimes people say it's the grandma measure of data because grandmas are supposed to be very fair, right, with all their grandchildren. So we have a grandma example here. So what do we mean by fair share? So if Grandma Crane filled 3 gumball machines up for 3 grandchildren, and then she took a look at them and said, uh-oh, I'm a grandma, I need to be fair, and noticed that there are not the same number of gumballs in each machine. So how could you fix this? How could Grandma fix this? Well, Grandma could take a count of each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right. So there's an easy fix here. So what should Grandma do? If you said that she should take one of these gumballs and put it in this machine here, eliminating it from here, then that is correct. What would happen then is she would have 7 here, 7 here, and 7 here instead of these numbers. And that would be fair share. So that's what mean does, is it looks at what would be the fair share of the data. All right, looking on here. So let's practice finding mean. So the steps are that we would total up all of the numbers, all the data points here. We would find a total, and then we would divide by the number of numbers we added together. So first we find the total, or we can say sum, of all the data points or the numbers, and then we divide that number by the total of numbers we added together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers being added together. We have 8 numbers that we're adding and finding the sum of. When we add all of these together, we get a total of 56. And then we divide by 8. And that's going to get us our fair share mean. And 56 divided by 8, of course, is 7. And that is the mean of this set of data. So there are 3 practice problems here. You can stop the video at this point and try these 3 problems, and then start the video again and check and correct your work. We'll see you in a moment. All right, you should have your 3 means here, and let's go ahead and check our work. So when we totaled up and found the sum of these numbers, it was 30. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of data. So that means our mean is 5. And we could also set that up this way, because that is a division line. In our second set of data, you should have arrived at a total or sum of 40. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of data. And that gives us a mean, an average of 10. Last of all, we have a total of 75. So sum of this data, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of data. So that's what we will divide by, and that gives us
Good morning.
all right, so here is a chance to show what you know. We are first going to list the steps to find the mean and then do 2 problems finding the mean of 2 sets of data. So again, please stop the video at this point and complete these problems and then start again and check your work. Welcome back. And the steps to find mean. So first, we want to find the sum or total of all of the numbers. We want to add them together and get a total. And then secondly, we count the number of numbers we added together. And then 3, divide the sum by that number. So here we are at putting it all together. We're going to go through all of these quickly and find all of the information we need to get this done. So first we're going to order the data. We're going from the lowest number, and I like to strike the numbers as I use them so I don't forget anything. Just another 10, looks like 15's next. 25, 33, and 58. All right, mode, that's the number that appears most often. That's easy to see. That is 10. The range goes from 10 to 58. So I know 58 minus 10 is going to give me 48. Next, we have median. I need to find the middle of this data. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there it is. It's right in my data set. So the middle of the data is 15. And now what I have left to do here is figure out the mean of this data. So I need to add up all these numbers, and then I need to divide by the number of numbers. I'm going to add these 10, 10, 10. I'll make that 30 just to make it a little easier. See, we have 10, 18, 21. Carry the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 161. And I need to divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to divide that by 7. So I'm going to divide here. And that's 2, and 7 goes into 21 3 times. And my mean here is 23. And there you have it. So you can continue on and practice more of these problems on your own. And that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.